Hello folks, welcome back to round 5 of the Regional Championships 8 here in Sydney, Australia. We are going into a really spicy matchup.
Yeah, definitely. It's our boogeyman Temur Breach versus a new spicy deck at the undefeated table, Mono Blue Belcher. So we'll get that for you loaded. Play shuffling up.
I love me some Belcher.
Yeah, it's a nice deck. It's got 0 official lands in the deck. All these multi-faced, I guess, lands. But yeah, and then it combos with, uses Lotus Bloom, Tameshi, and Goblin Charbelcher to, do as much damage as possible.
Yeah, Belcher's always been a funny, interesting deck because it had a place in Modern, other formats like Legacy, but coming back to Modern, a lot of these new cards got printed with extra lands.
Yeah, most definitely. There's a few strategies that, try to mill your entire deck, like the Oops or spells and whatnot. And these dual-face lands that have, seen in Zendikar and, Modern Horizons 3 really have helped that. Now you're able to field an entire deck full of multi-faced lands.
Right. And I think we know that Matteo is also a well-known Mono Blue Belcher player. So a lot of my friends were excited that he has only dropped a single game.
Oh, that's very impressive.
4 rounds.
At this level.
Yeah, he's 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, and I think he dropped 1 game last round.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, so very renowned combo player. On the other hand, we have Zen. Went to the most recent Pro Tour, and I think on Team Worldly Council as well. So a very respectable player.
Yes, he's been a name. He's been a name in the industry for a while. Yeah. So yeah, he's a very good player.
Yeah, and he's piloting the boogeyman of the format, Temur Breach, which we saw last round on camera. It dispatched of Demir Frogtide very handily. So he won through a fair game in game 1, and then it comboed off in game 2. So we might see some fireworks in this matchup.
Yeah, this is the first time I'll be casting Breach, but like, Underworld Breach, there is a lot of Breach today.
Most definitely. I think a lot of people can maybe see that it might potentially get banned. So they're trying to give it one last hurrah, and it's definitely a really powerful deck.
Yeah. Very fast, unfair combo deck. And I think in the past, it was pretty good, and then they unpaired Mox Opal.
Yeah, it definitely helped and elevate that deck to a different stratosphere. I think Zen had a look at some of those cards from the Belcher deck. Maybe didn't know all of the dual-faced cards, as maybe a lot of us don't know.
Yeah. But I think, as I was saying earlier, like Mox Opal obviously recently got unbanned, Faith Excluding got unbanned, so it really opened up the avenue for these new decks. But I'm really excited to just see how powerful Modern's been going.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think the standard sets have also helped as well. We've seen Ketramos, not on camera just yet, but Ketramos is a few cards like Stock Up as well that has seen some, support to the modern format.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Stock Up. I love me some Stock Up. It's just a better divination.
Most definitely. Some people call it a Delve, what do you call it? Dig Through Time Junior.
Yeah, Dig Through Time Junior. I'll go ahead and pull that up so everyone can see. But yeah. Card advantage. It's played in vintage.
It just shows how powerful it is.
Right. Okay then. So we have 2 players here now. Tell me the dynamic between people playing Belcher and having open deck lists.
Yeah, well, there is some advantage. As we saw Zen looking earlier, you're not too familiar with some of these, uncommons that are dual-faced and whatnot. So perhaps people aren't as familiar with the deck. So you might be able to, win through that, just people not knowing a deck. And in a format like Modern, where most people know a lot of the, the key cards, that could be an advantage to surprise someone.
Right. But the thing is, like, let's say you are sitting in the Belcher seat and you just look at the deck list and you go, you don't interact with me. You just go all in, right? So Matteo also has an advantage there, just to go like, and it can, now, does Temur Breach, are they playing like counter spells, are they playing interactive stuff?
They have a few. They definitely have Haywire Might, which, could be a potential, something that stops the Belcher at least. And then it looks like Zen has the Swan Song main deck that can counter some of the key instants and sorceries. So yeah, there's definitely some avenue, and then otherwise it could just be an arms race.
Right, but then the Breach players also have things like Unholy Heat, which is it just seems like dead in this matchup, right?
Yeah, there are a few cards, but the deck they are able to manipulate the deck of somewhat, so it should be okay. But yeah, well, I'm keen to see what happens and see how fast this matchup potentially goes.
Yeah, right. It's hilarious how this matchup's going to be, because we decided to put this matchup on because it's 2 very very interesting decks.
Most definitely, yeah. 2 combo decks going at it, and we'll see how they interact with each other, if at all. Otherwise, it could just be race to the combo, and we'll see if the format's premier combo deck wins or if a dedicated combo deck wins.
Yeah, it's all in, 2 boats passing by. Oh, mate, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the chaos. Alrighty, all right, seems like they're both mulliganing their first hand. I mean, they're just sculpting their hands. They're trying to figure out which one. What, do I need the perfect hand?
Yeah, it looks like Zen does have a Swan Song. That is a card that we've mentioned that could potentially, help shift that matchup. So that's something that could be potentially impactful. Matteo looks like has a Spell Snare in his hand, which could also help counter some of those key combo cards from Bridge, like Grinding Station or Underworld Bridge, and also Malevolent Rumble, which helps set that up. So yeah, I guess they have a few interaction, and they're hoping to, go all out.
Yeah, honestly, playing a little bit of Magic and Modern as of lately, I think Spell Snare is definitely an MVP lately.
Most definitely. I think a lot of powerful 2-drops got printed with Modern Horizons 3, like your Johnny's that saw a lot of play in Boros Energy, and, Malevolent Rumble as well. So yeah, it's definitely a card that's gone up in value.
Yeah, I love a bit of interaction.
All right, looks like we are off. With Zen playing a turn 1 Spell Bomb off an Urza Saga and a Mox Opal.
Oh, there we go. Alrighty. Well, already a pretty fast start. You got a Mox Opal, and hopefully see if the Zen's going to have a second artifact to turn on Metalcraft here.
Definitely could be quick. Matteo's just playing a tap land here, one of many of those dual-face ones.
Yeah, Shifting Woodward's coming in tapped as well, so you can't really activate that Saga. But, it's okay. I think in this matchup, you're just trying to go as fast as you can, right?
Yeah, a bit of a standoff at the moment, so seeing just both taking it easy. I think that's a Seagate Restoration, or the flip side of that, so it looks like that's being shocked in. And I think that's the alternate art version.
The Thunderclap Trainer, right?
Thundertrap Trainer. So I think he's going to look at the top 4 cards of his library, and he's going to reveal a non-creature, non-land from among them.
Can you actually tell me about the uniqueness of how Belcher worked with all these creatures? They have 8 creatures, right?
Yeah, Thundertrap Trainer and
Miyaji.
Miyaji Archaeologist. They're sculpting the deck a bit and hopefully finding those combo pieces. And it looks like that's worked out well here for Matteo. He's found Wervention. That's a card that can find the Belcher or a Lotus Bloom. So yeah, a key card for this matchup.
Yeah, and also Monobill Belcher being an all-in dedicated combo deck, they have cards like Flare of Denial that actually requires some sort of blue spell, blue creature in play to counter. So not only are these creatures getting you card advantage, but they enable blocking, they enable Flare of Denial. It's really a unique way how they build the deck.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's nice that, it's drawing you a card essentially from your top 4 and also acts as a free counter spell. It was utilizing those Nadu decks as well, so it's clearly a powerful card. It looks like Zen here is finding Haywire Might, perhaps knows that artifacts are quite important for Matteo's combo, so he's trying to find a way to alleviate that. And that does turn on the Mox Opal, so he has access to a bit more mana here.
Right, a nice little synergy there. And yeah, Urza Saga definitely had changed the archetype, the landscape of Modern.
Most definitely. It looks like he's using that mana from Urza Saga and the Shifting Woodland to cast a Malevolent Rumble. Pondering some options here. He's got 2 Mox Opals, a Mox Amber, and an Urza Saga.
Right, Mox Amber, Mox Opal living side by side. But no legendary creatures yet, so I think they need a legendary permanent to
yeah, definitely. So you could either pick up the Saga here. I think he's got an Emery in hand, so he is looking at that Amber, but still pondering what he might pick up here. Yeah, Rumble, another strong card from Modern Horizons 3. A common, but a very powerful one. He's going to make a spawn here as well. But yeah, Zen's just deciding what to take here. Lots of options.
Mate, I think Rumble is a mythic common.
It is. It certainly is. One I thought people were playing around with when they first played it in those Nadu decks, but clearly a very powerful card. Generates a blocker or mana, and yeah, your choice of any permanent to make sideboarding a lot easier too.
Wow, a combo deck that's full of permanents. What a coincidence. All right. Do you feel like the Spell Bomb's doing anything here?
It could potentially bounce the thing if he's scared of, Flare earlier on, but generally not that much. I think it's just turning on Metalcraft here.
Is that it? Andrea Mangucci.
Yeah, I think Zen is very good friends with Andrea Mangucci, so I think that he's showing some love there.
I love it, I love it. Alrighty, we have a Mox Opal getting tapped to cast a Emery. Wow.
Yeah, Emery's a strong one. It's going to mill 4 here, and next turn he's going to be able to cast a card like a card like Mishra's Bauble out of the graveyard. And it does turn on that Mox Amber, so he's able to use that for blue mana. I believe he's holding that Swan Song, so he could counter that whir that Matteo found earlier.
Right. There we go.
It looks like that is another Thunder Trap Trainer. So let's see what he finds here. See, the good thing about this is that it can find lands per se. I think he's going to find a Seagate Restoration here. Is that a Seagate Restoration?
Yeah, Seagate. Yep, Seagate.
Yep, so that could either be a land or potentially a spell later on. But yeah, it looks like he's able to find a land there, which is pretty nice and a neat part of this deck.
Right, right. Which is, like, if you look at the board state now, it kind of feels like Zen has developed his board faster than Matteo. But Matteo is definitely still doing the things that he needs to do.
Definitely. I think it's very hard to judge who's faster, I think, at this point. I think Zen might be holding up a bit more, I guess, control. I think I saw a counterspell from Matteo's handing in, I think, is it Spell Snare he has in his hand? So they're both, you know, aware that there's potential interaction from the other side. So they're respecting it a bit.
Kind of feels like a face-off.
Yeah, essentially. I think they're seeing who blinks first.
Hilarious. All right. Wow. We have the namesake the card getting cast for Underworld Breach, getting spell snared.
Yeah, meets it. I think they're both aware of, you know, what's the big key cards are in this matchup, and it looks like Matteo has the answer for the Underworld Breach, which is very timely.
Interesting that we know that Zen has the Swan Song, right?
That is right. So
He chose not to interact, not to counter?
Yeah, he's potentially maybe scared of Matteo recomboing off. But yeah, I'm not sure why not. He's probably maybe wants to save it for a more important card later.
Yep, makes sense. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get some value now of this Emery being able to recast the Mox Opal. Yeah. Kind of really nice there.
Yeah. I think he definitely has the advantage on board. So maybe he's perhaps comfortable with this current board set and holding up that Swan Song to protect his combo, maybe go off in a future turn. Because he does have that Haywire, so that Mox Opal he can tap for either the Haywire Might or the Spell Bomb. So he's got a few options available to him, so perhaps he's in a more comfortable position and he's happy to wait another turn.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the Belcher deck has so many counter spells. It's just counter dot draw, right?
Yeah, that might be another reason why he opted not to play the Swan Song, like maybe using it a bit more defensively. And instead of, he knows maybe that an Underworld Breach protection spell could meet its own, get countered as well. So perhaps he's using it conservatively there.
Yeah, right. I guess now I see the grinding station giving the Spellbomb a little bit of purpose, right? He can just sack it.
Yeah, if it's no use to him, he can sack it. Yeah, but certainly he might leave it up for a potential Tameshi or something like that in this matchup.
Yeah, right. That makes sense. Another Thunderclap. There's a whole entire army of Thunderclap trainers. I love it. All right, there's the Belcher.
Yeah, he's elected to find that. So now, yeah, he's got his army of Thunder Trap trainers and a Belcher in hand. That's definitely something I think that the Haywire Might's going to try and hit if he's not able to activate it on that turn.
Right. And then, okay, so he's hitting the land drops, which I think Mono Blue Belcher generally hits the land drops pretty easily. lots of spell lands there. Yep. And he's played it tapped and then he's passed the turn. So let's see what Zen's going to do here. He's targeting Mox, recasting the Mox.
Floating it, so he's got an extra mana here. What's he doing?
He's trying to Shifting Woodlands, the Underground Breach.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Yeah, definitely a way of using that when that has Delirium. It can become, a card in your graveyard.
This is really nice because Zen here knows that if there's a bunch of counterspells, Matteo can't play around it, right?
Yep, and yeah, that looks like it's game.
Wow.
It's just as quick as that. I think Matteo knows the combo. Maybe he's very familiar with it. And yeah, it's just over just like that. Shifting Woodlands, copying Underworld Breach. That's how he gets it done.
Yeah, I actually didn't see that line yet because I hadn't counted Delirium. But it's kind of cool that, they both respected each other and they just knew, okay, this is how it works. I've played the deck before. I'm going to activate it and just flash back my whole entire graveyard.
Yeah, both combo masters. I think they've seen the deck list. They're acutely aware of what each other deck does.
All right, look at the sideboard here. What do you think? What are some options do you think the Breach player has?
I think Zen will look to bring in some hate. So I think he's got Pithing Needle, which will, likely name Goblin Char Belcher, or that loaded. He can't name Nellis Boom, so he will just hit either Tameshi or that Belcher. I think he'll bring in Berserker to bring in hate on any artifacts, potential consigns, and then also his counterspell suite of spell peers as well. So he's got a few options there. I think he might also look to bring in Nature's Claim as well. So yeah, definitely. I suppose the benefit of so many breach decks is that you can use them to hit hit other Belcher. The Belcher sort of the hate for breach also hits Belcher as well. So it's not too bad, I guess.
Yeah, I noticed the breach player doesn't really have too many like graveyard hates. It's just like they don't want to. They're not trying to target any graveyard decks. They're just trying to combo faster.
Yeah, they're definitely happy with their combo, and they're sort of just playing around that. And then from Matteo's side, he might look to bring in the Graph Digger's Cage. It's definitely a card that it will stop Underworld Breach. So that's definitely a solid option there. You might bring in Portable Hold to sort of exile some of these problematic permanents, like the Mox Opals and the Mox Ambers that are generating a lot of mana, and just sort of slow him down there. I think those will be the options. I think Harbinger is also a potential another card just to turn off the Sagas, to stop him finding those Haywire Mice or those more pesky cards.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's kind of scary when you think the Belcher deck is going to start playing Harbingers.
Yeah, there's another card. I think you saw in that first match, there's definitely a bit of time while they're still sensing each other out, seeing who has the combo and whatnot. So yeah, we'll see what they come up with.
So I noticed here Matteo has something really spicy in the sideboard that I'm not used to seeing. He just has a single basic mountain.
Yeah, the rise of these tax decks has sort of seen a lot of, I guess a lot of land hate. They're like the white Orchid Phantom, which is destroying a lot of lands. Maybe initially targeted at Eldrazi, but blowing up your land is quite devastating, especially if you can't find anything. So I think he's found the mountain here just as a potential option to find that.
What does the mountain cast?
Yeah, I'm not too sure here. So
maybe it's just because it doesn't die to choke, but choke doesn't affect his spell lands. He doesn't have islands. Right. I'm trying to figure out where the mountain comes in. It's just a single mountain.
Yeah, not too sure. I might have to ask him about that after this.
That's hilarious. Does the Belcher player, are they playing Mox Opal?
I don't believe are. They have, I guess, their own version of Black Lotus. So.
Oh yeah, Lotus Blue.
Yeah,
right.
So I think they'll be looking to try and utilize that, but we'll see what Matteo has in this game.
Right. Oh well, game one was quite fast. They both were just two boats sailing in the wind.
Yeah, pretty much. I think they both suss each other out a little bit. Try to prevent the combo a little bit, and then I think Zen had the Shifting Woodlands that got to copy the breach. And as you said, duck under those counter spells, which Matteo was holding.
Yeah, there's been a lot of blue today. I've noticed, Breach definitely plays blue. We've got the Temur control, Esper control. I have not seen good old classic Jeskai control. Where's Jeskai? Where's Jeskai gone?
Yeah, unfortunately, the One Ring ban, I think, has hit that deck pretty hard. Although I think there was a few copies in the room, but definitely maybe suffered a bit more than some of those other decks.
Yeah, and where is the love for Zoo?
Yeah, definitely a few options. I think I saw a few roaming around, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like they've done too well here. Perhaps not being able to interact with this breach combo as much as they'd like.
Yeah, right. Everyone needs to play some Stony Silence's main.
It certainly seems like it would be very good in this matchup, especially both.
Do you think, if we're talking 2-mana white hate cards, do you think Stony Silence is more devastating for breach, or do you think it's Rest in Peace?
I'd say probably Stony Silence, because it can shut off these Mox Opal and Mox Ambers. But I was reading Canis's article about how to try to beat breach, and he was saying it's about layering those hate pieces. They'll always have an answer to at least one of them through a Nature's Claim or whatnot. So if you have a few, at least slow them down a little bit. Having 2, 3 hopefully stops them. But yeah, you just do your best and hopefully try and win while you're doing that as well.
And can I believe the win con for breach is Thassa's Oracle, right?
Yeah, that's generally the more popular option. I think they have Jace in the sideboard as well for some, some more grindy matchups. They can also win through, the Urza Saga, just beating down with these big constructs. But the other option is Grape Shot as well. You are recasting those 0-mana Moxen, and then you have enough times where you have enough Storm count. You cast Grape Shot once, you do 10, and then recast it again with Breach to do a second one.
Alrighty, so we have Matteo here probably on the play. It seems like he is thinking about his hand to think if he wants to keep this, but
Looks like Zen's taken a mole.
Yeah, you can see his mole. He started shuffling. Yep.
Yeah, perhaps not enough hate pieces for Matteo's deck.
Matteo's deck is lightning fast. Sometimes you could just end step, cast a worm invention, go grab a lotus, a black lotus,
Yeah.
as you say, and then just go off.
Yeah, definitely one I think Zen has to respect, so perhaps looking for something to deal with that.
Belcher is it's a 4-mana artifact, 3 to activate, right?
Yeah, so it looks, it's a very classic card, I think. So good to see it reprinted.
Which, if you think about the perfect hand, the perfect lines, you play 3 lands, you were at the end step, you untap, you play a land, and you just win.
Yep, ideally I think Matteo's hoping for that, but I think he will respect some potential counters from Zen.
Yeah, right. All right.
It's like they're off.
They are off. Okay, we've got a tap land there from Matteo. Obviously being on the play here with losing game 1, and then Zen just opens up with a Tamio.
Yeah, definitely one of the key cogs of this deck, being able to attack and generate a clue token, which will, buffer up any construct tokens and also make Emery a bit cheaper. But also the deck draws a lot of cards too, so it's able to flip and, present a potential game-ending ultimate by drawing half your deck. So a very powerful card that's definitely seen a good home in Breach.
Yeah, why does Temur need flying? I guess she looks flying all the time.
Yeah, those pesky moon folk. It looked like another Thunder Trap trainer from Matteo, his most cast creature in this matchup so far. He's pondering his options, I think.
Yeah, it's doing a pretty good impression of Ponder. You get to look at one extra card, get a nice card. Oh wow, that's a pretty good result.
Yeah, the Flare of Denial, so it's essentially free if you choose to sacrifice that Thunder Trap trainer, so I think Zen has to respect that.
You'll see my colleague Xander waiting over in the corner. If you can head over there, we will start shortly.
Yeah, and like talking about that plan B, as you're saying earlier, where sometimes you can just cast a bunch of artifacts and activate Urza's Saga.
Yeah, that's the power of this deck. You can win fairly, and it has a very quick combo kill as well. So it's, definitely why it's a deck to beat at the moment.
Honestly, I wouldn't even expect that, to think about, life being a proper resource relevant in this matchup.
Looks like that Tamio's gotten in. It's made that clue token at the moment, and Zen is about to cast what looks like a Rumble.
I think Rumble's going to... Yeah, there you go. Such a good card.
Yeah, and the power of it is that it can find any of those sideboard cards, potentially. Although it looks like he's flipped over 3 Moxen, 2 Mox Ambers, a Mox Opal, and a land. He's going to put the Mox Opal to his hand, joined by our friend Andre Mengucci as the Eldrazi spawn token, and he's going to play that Mox Amber.
Right. Perfectly lined up with Tamio. Tamio's very happy to see a Mox Amber in play.
Yeah, so he will be able to use that. Has a blue mana available to him.
It's like the fifth Thunder Club
it
today.
looks like another Thunder trainer for Matteo, so seeing what he can find off that.
I think he's responding to the Thunderclap.
Yep, looks like he's tapping blue. Where's he going?
Yeah.
It's just off camera at the moment. I think that's a Spell Snare.
Potentially, yeah. I think I'm seeing a Spell Snare. Yep.
Although that has met a Flare of Denial from that original Thunder Trap.
Yep. I think the Spell Snare is off screen. Yep, there you go. There you go. So Spell Snare in response, Flare Denial, sack the creature, and then Matteo, it's a good exchange. He's going to be able to just find a new card. Kind of replace the hand or replace the card.
Yeah, see if he has any. Although that's a Seagate Restoration, so that's, I imagine, his land drop for his turn. He's going to shock that into play.
Yeah, Flare Denial is actually a really nice card because not only can you just cast it for its fair cost of 3 mana, you can also sack a blue spell, which everyone knew that this card would be great in Merfolk.
Most definitely, yeah, and especially I think with those Thunder Trap, once they've done their job of finding that spell, you're able to sacrifice them and cast a free counter spell, which will be very crucial against Zen's combo deck.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. All right, so Mengucci representing this deck as a spirit animal, and Tamio just going in and getting more value for these clues here.
Yeah, that's that value of the flying, getting through the Thunder Trap and then just generating that clue.
Right. It seems like a lot of people these days, they just love splashing green. You have good cards like Rumble, you have Boseiju, but green is a good color.
Yeah, most definitely. It's got also it helps him activate that Haywire Might as well. So yeah, it's a very solid color. And as we saw in game 1, they're shifting Woodland. So yeah, green's necessary for these combo decks these days. Looks like Zen's mulling over this Preordain. He has Swansong and Emery, both very good cards in this matchup. Swansong obviously to sort of counter those key cards, and then Emery to sort of help him with his own engine. And he does have that Mox Opal in his graveyard, so potential card that he'll see back.
If you had to rate Preordain or Rumble, what do you think is a better cantrip?
Oh, that's hard to say. I think these days it might be Rumble, but back in the day, Preordain was on the ban list.
Exactly. Yeah, Rumble just giving you back that free, what's it? The Eldrazi spawn, right?
Yeah, it generates the mana, potential blocker. Yeah, it's just a very powerful card.
Okay, 2 mana here. I think we're seeing a clue getting cracked. Yep.
Yeah, that's that value of the Temur. You know, it's attacked twice. It's still got a clue in play now. He's able to find something else and find the cards that he left on top. So he gets both the Emery and the Swansong, and he flips the Temur.
Yeah, it's really good because being able to, as you can see here, Tamio just like gets to activate and trigger and just simple steps. All he was doing was cracking a clue, he got a cantrip, and then you get some value.
Yeah.
Flipping over to the other side.
Yeah, it's got the ability to bring something back, but otherwise, you know, it ticks up very quickly and it's able to use that essentially game-ending ultimate by drawing half your library. It's very hard to lose when you've drawn half your library.
Oh, wow, we see the Harbinger there. But is he going to walk past it? It's non-creature, right?
Yeah, it would stop that as a Saga in play, but I think he's looked for that Child Belcher. I think they both know that it's about to meet in a conclusion very shortly, and I think they're both preparing for that arms race.
Yeah, right. Things are getting bad. And like when the Tamir flips, you're in trouble, mate.
Yeah, there's that clock, that doomsday clock is ticking.
Right. Especially with the Emery line, you can see a hinting needle in there as well, which could spell trouble actually for Matteo.
Yeah, that Emery really has, you know, generated a lot of value. There's a lot of options available to Zen in his graveyard. Choose to either find mana or a hate card like Pithing Needle. And I think that's the option he's going for.
That's the line, yeah. What do you think he's going to be naming here?
I think it's that Child Belcher that he saw earlier. I think he doesn't want to lose the game.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I wonder if this is going to get countered. We'll see.
Yeah, Mateo's definitely pondering it. It is quite annoying for Matteo because that card will, you know, stay in the graveyard even if it is countered. He could try it again with an Emery next turn. We'll get confirmation from the team, but I believe he's going to name Child Belcher with that.
Yeah, I think that's the optimal play here. Oh, let me see. Let's Goblin Child Belcher. There we go. Very politely slipped into the card there.
And now Zen does have mana to potentially activate and create a construct token as well, but he's got a few different options available to him. He can crack the clue, he can just keep ticking up Tamio as well.
Tameshi from Matteo. I mean, that synergy you spoke about earlier where you can activate some Tameshi, return a land to your hand, and which the land is a spell.
Yeah, and he can pitch that to, you know, potentially the Disrupting Show as well. So yeah, it's quite a synergistic deck.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. That's so good. Honestly, I don't see enough Tameshi these days. I know that she had a bit of a combo with you actually can combo with Lotus Bloom, right?
I believe so. It looks like the Tameshi will meet its end. A Flame of Anor, you know, very nicely with Emery, as Emery is a wizard as well. So Flame of Anor looks like it's going to shoot the Tameshi for 5 and draw Zen 2 cards.
So much of value.
Quite a good big swing there, that Lord of the Rings card.
Yeah, so much value. All right, so back to Zen here. He's going to go ahead and ticking up his sagas, deciding if he wants to float mana or he's going to... Looks like he's floating mana.
Yeah, it looks like he'll float mana and look to find a hate card for this matchup.
Yeah. Well, that Tamio is still ticking up. Oh, all right, he's got a Haywire Might just to be sure.
Yeah, definitely. You will definitely want to be quite safe against this deck. You can win out of, you know, essentially nowhere. So you want to have as much protection as you can get.
Right. I mean, right now he's got lots of protection. He has the Needle, naming Child Belcher. He has a Haywire Might just in case.
Yeah.
You know, very, very cautious, very stable player here.
Yeah, I think we're showing the sort of the power of this breach deck. You know, you're able to play a bit more control-like. You know, you have all these hate permanents, but also, you know, you have your own clock with Tamio as well. So it's quite a powerful position for Zen here.
What beats breach?
Well, I think that's the $1,000,000 question we're looking for this weekend. I think it looks like it's breach at the moment. There are, as I was mentioning earlier, like these pest control decks potentially are a good answer. You can get rid of a lot of the permanents and the flip Tamio, but we'll have to see what pest control decks are left.
I wonder how many burn players are in the room.
We'll see. Yeah, these decks these days lose a lot of life to their lands, whether it be a lightning bolt land or one of those shock lands and thought seizers. But yeah, it's a different format these days.
Yeah, right. I think I should have entered this tournament, King, and I think I should have played Trinisphere. 4 Trinispheres main.
He'd be quite solid against all these 0 drops. Looks like Zen's played another Urza Saga, playing another permanent.
Which means you have 15 minutes to sign up at the prize wall.
So he's going to use that mana he floated from Urza Saga and then use the new Urza Saga to cast a
Grinding station.
station.
Yeah, grinding station. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the main names, the other side of the deck. I'll go ahead and pull it up here.
Yeah. And Emery's going to flash back that Mishra's Ball, which will generate him a card. He'll be able to look at either his deck or Matteo's top card and sort of see if the coast is clear. So it's just generating that extra card advantage. And now, as you can see, Tamio is on 8, so it is able to potentially, draw half of Zen's deck next turn.
Wow, and I believe it's a -7, right?
Yeah, it ticks up very quickly and it's very powerful. So yeah, -7, draw cards equal to half the number of cards in your library rounded up. And then you get an emblem with, you have no maximum hand size. So definitely one you want to be ultimating.
I love how she ultimates and she's still alive.
Yep.
Just like, you've just drawn half your library and she's still alive.
Very powerful ability, those flip walkers from Modern Horizons 3.
Alrighty. So let's see what Matteo's thinking here. Like, he can try to cast the Belcher. It won't do anything. I wonder what his line here is. I wonder what he's thinking.
Yeah, certainly has a lot to navigate. Looks like he might just be passing turn and Zen's going to look at the top card of Matteo's library, we'll see what's coming up, see if there's a spoiler preview, and he's going to crack that clue as well. So he'll draw 1 card now and an additional card in his upkeep as well. So he'll draw essentially 3 cards after his draw step.
Ooh, Floodmore.
Yeah, that's a newer card. I believe it's from Bloomburrow.
Yes, it's a very good All-Star. It's actually really popular in Vintage. I'll go ahead and pull that up here.
Yeah,
Into the Floodmore.
Yeah, you can get rid of that Tamio essentially if you give Zen a fish.
A tapped fish.
Yeah.
Because you're eating the fish. Maybe. Shout out to all the fishers out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this card is so powerful because if you bounce a creature, you don't have to give them a fish, but you can bounce a non-land permanent and you give them a tapped fish, which I don't think little 1/1 tokens, tap tokens, if that is anything of a big deal right now.
Yeah, in this matchup, that token doesn't matter too much. But yeah, it's hopefully a clean answer to this Tamio. Maybe Zen will not draw half his library.
Yeah. Let's see, I think he's going to respond here.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the swan song. Zen would like to draw half his library. We're seeing if Matteo has a response here. Oh, no, it looks like that's that, and Matteo's going to draw his card.
Yeah, I think there should be exchanging of tokens here.
Yeah.
But, yeah, a bit of exchange. He's trying to stop the Tamio. So I think that was probably on upkeep or something, right?
Might be, yeah. I think it was before that Mishra's Bauble draw. So it looks like Zen has another Urza Saga that he's going to be finding. See what else he can find that can potentially slow down Matteo.
Yeah, which is a really heads-up play. Play things on upkeep, respond to triggers, just so you can, because you get priority when you activate the Planeswalker.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, so letting this Urza Saga resolve. I mean, he's got all the pieces in play. He's got card draw, he's got a needle, he's got an Emery, he's got a grinding station. What else does he need?
Yeah, he's got quite a lot. We'll see what else he can add to that. It looks like it's a Soul Guide Lantern, just in case. So exile the Harbinger now and has that potential option to exile a bit more of the graveyard or just draw a card. So yeah, he's put in quite a few, options to slow down Matteo, and now he's going to draw half his library. So a very good position for Zen to be in.
Right.
I think he's just counting up his cards and then rounding up.
How good does it feel to draw half your library?
It definitely feels quite good. I think you're in a very strong position afterwards.
Yeah, I don't do it too often just because it's just too many cards to hold. It's too many options. Options are bad, right? Alrighty. Well, no, I think Zen here definitely has the advantage bar flying right side on his side, but anything can happen. This is Magic. You know, there could be a Hercules recall. I don't know.
Yeah, Matteo does have 2 spell snares, it looks like, in his hand, so he's able to counter a potential breach or a grind, I guess any potential breaches that come down this turn. But he does have a few permanents to get rid of first before he can combo off himself.
Yeah, right. And I mean, there you go. There's that spell snare you just spoke about.
Yeah,
Hello,
it'll
hello.
counter through that first breach. We'll see what answers Zen has. He has drawn half his library, so he does have a few options potentially available to him. He looks like that'll just get countered and we'll keep on going.
Yeah, we don't see any shifting woodlands yet. Another breach, another spell snare.
So at least that's 2 breaches down. Matteo will have to look to get rid of, you know, this Pithing Needle, the Haywire Miner, potentially this Soul Guide Lantern, but at least he's dealt with 2 of those at the moment.
Right. I wonder if anyone is playing Hercules Recall. That would be so good. You just like bounce all artifacts, right?
Certainly wouldn't be bad. Yeah, it's a blast from the past.
Yeah, right. Bobble there from Zen. Oh, well, his library is quite thin.
Happens when you draw half your library. It's quite a nice feeling.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And Zed here is a New Zealand player, I believe.
Yeah, he's quite a successful New Zealand player. I think he's been on the Pro Tour numerous times.
Yeah. Alrighty, I'll go. Grinding station, going ahead, milling, sacking the clue, right? Sacking something. Oh, the bit.
I believe it was, I believe it was maybe the Mox Opal, and now he's recasting it with Emery, so he just gets that extra mana up.
Gotcha.
So he could potentially cast another Breach here if he has one in hand. He has a lot of cast to sift through in his hand at the moment.
Yep. And we're down 3 breaches, though.
Yeah, so I think Zen is looking for that last one, so he potentially doesn't. Yeah, he potentially doesn't have it in his hand. I think
And he
he's just looking
passes.
for it. Yeah.
He just passes back. I'm like, okay, he would have just slammed the other breach. I mean, he needs mana, though. No, he has mana.
We are running a bonus Mystery Booster Seal event. It starts
You're right. Maybe the last breach is in the library.
Yeah, he needs to look for it. But remember, like, he can win through the fair game. He has, put a bit of a chokehold on Matteo's combo, so he has slowed him down quite a bit. Looks like Matteo's just passing, potentially holding up a few counter spells to stop Zen's final breach. But it looks like I believe Zen's going to look for yet another card with the Saga.
Well, he's got to see the library anyway from the Saga search, and he's going to be like, where is this breach?
Yeah, see what's available to him.
Yeah, looking at the hand cam, I don't really see any red cards in his hand shuffling through. So I'm assuming he's going to be like, I'm going to search. Let's see where this breach is. Ready?
Yeah, see what else he can find as well.
He's probably going to grab a... Well, he can't grab a... He can grab a bobble. Yep, that makes sense. Because the Moxons will just come straight in. You can't tap mana, but they will come in. Lots of 0 drops in this deck.
Yeah, I think that's the power of potential pest control. You can get rid of a lot of these permanents if you're able to do that. But yeah, definitely that's why this deck's so powerful and so explosive. You can play 2 0 drops and then play an Emery on turn 1.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much of this card, pest control. Is it played in like, I guess the black-white...
I think in some of those black-white sideboards, you're seeing one copy or 2. I think it was mostly popular in those Demir Oculus sort of decks, and some of them splashed white just for this guy to sort of deal with this matchup. And then it sort of turned it around a little bit more. But yeah, certainly one that's aimed at Breach and a bit up Boros energy too. But the former deck, less popular this weekend than it has been in former RCs.
Yeah, so looking at Matteo's, I guess, his deck here, because like if we're trying to think about what outs Matteo has, what do you think he's looking for?
Yeah, he's probably looking at that second into the Floodmaw. He has already cast 1, but he would be looking to get rid of that Pithing Needle, which is quite problematic. Unfortunately for Zen, he has a lot of cards in his hand, and you have to imagine there are some number of counter spells there which will deal with that potential into the Floodmaw. So it is a bit of a precarious position for him there.
Yeah, right. It's a little bit of an uphill battle since Zen just has so many options in his hand. He has a no maximum hand.
Yeah, it's certainly a good position to be in.
Yeah, definitely. Also, I'm not sure. Maybe it's still the same turn, but has he been ticking up Temur?
Maybe. I think he's still playing, going through the motions and whatnot. I think he's just trying to look for a few cards and whatnot.
We have another Tamio that potentially gets some more clues. I mean, he's trying to empty his hand by this point. But yeah.
Does look like he has Thassa's Oracle in his hand, so I guess maybe if his deck does get to a thin enough number, he can just hard cast that and look to try and win the game if he has 2 or fewer cards in his in his deck. And he does have a few other blue permanents, so hopefully they'll add that up. So if he plays it now, if he has 5 or fewer cards in his deck, he would win. But you have to imagine Matteo's holding up a few counterspells to protect himself there.
5 or fewer. Wait, so let's look at the devotion. We have Emery, Tamio, and that's it, right? There's just 2 devotion. Oh, plus the Tharsas. Okay, yeah. Now let's see the line now. Yeah.
So it looks like he has fewer than 5 cards in his library. So he's able to cast that and win the game there. So a bit more of a different win from Team of Breach, but it's Thassa's Oracle all the same.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the Thassa's Oracle like just slowly mill yourself, but that was quite an interesting match to watch. All right, we'll go ahead and bring it back to the booth.
Yep.
Hello, folks. Here at the Region Championships number 8 in Sydney, Australia. How would you think of that match?
Yeah, we're seeing the power of Breach. It's gone undefeated on camera at the moment, and we're seeing multiple different ways it's winning. Won the first match, I think, we saw with those Saga tokens, and this match it won with various combo kills. This one, it didn't even have an empty library, just cast Thassa's Oracle with 5 blue pips.
He just slowly milled himself. Oh, obviously he drew half his deck. Yeah, just slowly milled himself, and he's like, I'm just going to... That's what he kept counting the library for.
Yeah, no, so definitely a few... Showing the depth of Breach and seeing how powerful that deck is.
Yeah, that was great. It was great. And, unfortunately, we didn't get to see Belcher do their Belcher thing. All right, but it's just so much. There's just so much raw power in the Breach deck.
Yeah, it can function as the control deck, the aggressor, and also a combo deck. So it's a bit of a utility deck, and maybe why we're seeing so many of it today.
What are your thoughts? Do you think Mox is definitely going to get reviewed for the next BNR?
I think Mox, Underworld Breach, I think both cards will, Watsy will have a close look at it and see what we can see what they might take away from this deck.
Yeah, because before Mox Opal got unbanned, Mox Amber was basically the whole entire shell of the deck. It was very strong. And then with Mox Opal coming back into Modern, definitely made the deck just way stronger.
Yeah, took it to a whole different level. I think it was a strong combo deck before, and now it's, with the addition of another 0 mana Mox, it definitely makes it a bit more powerful.
Mana's a good thing. All right, well, good luck. Thank you for getting those plays on. I really love to watch come some combo versus combo.
Yep.
But we'll go ahead and get into round 6 and hope to see you guys soon.